Bullis and Gonzaga are both in the top 4 of this week's rankings. John McDonnell, The Washington Post: with the regular season winding down, the area's top 2 private school leagues face tight finishes for seeding in their postseason tournaments. In the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference, which owns the top 2 spots in these rankings via St. John's and Gonzaga, 5 teams have winning conference records in the final week of the regular season. Gonzaga, 4-1, currently has the edge for the top spot. With 4-1 conference record, their lone blemish an 8-5 loss to Paul VI on April 10. The Eagles have 2 conference games remaining against St. John's and DeMatha. Should the Eagles win both, they would hand the Cadets and Stags each their second conference defeats and finish atop the standings. If St. John's, which ended Gonzaga's longtime conference dominance in the WCAC title game last year, or DeMatha prevails, it could claim the top spot or further muddle the standings, which include Paul VI, 5-2 at the end of conference play, and Good Counsel, 3-2 with 2 WCAC games remaining. In the Interstate Athletic Conference, no team has established supremacy like Landon did during an undefeated season a year ago. Instead, 4 teams, Bullis, Landon, Georgetown Prep and St. Albans, are 2-1 through 3 conference games and have 2 apiece left. St. Albans, which was 3-6 before IAC play began in early April, has been perhaps the surprise contender, beating Landon and St. Stephen's, St. Agnes in its last 2 conference games. The league is very balanced this year, Landon assistant coach J.R. Bordley said this season. I don't think there are any dominant teams. The WCSC tournament begins with the first round on May 1 and continues through the semifinals on May 3 and championship game at the University of Maryland on May 7. The IAC will start its postseason on May 4 with the semifinals on May 8 and the final on May 11. Here are this week's rankings. St. John's, 10-2, last week, won the Cadets meeting at Gonzaga on Friday is a rematch of last year's WCAC championship game. 2 Gonzaga, 11-3, LW, 2 The Eagles face a daunting close to the regular season, traveling to Landon before hosting St. John's and DeMatha. 3 Churchill, 8-0, LW, 3 led by attackman Harrison Gerber's 1 goal and 5 assists, a program best. 19 players had at least 1 point to beat Kennedy. 4 Bullis, 10-3, LW, 4 by dominating the faceoff. 18-8, the Bulldogs beat Episcopal, 14-11, for a second straight IAC win. 5 Riverside, 8-1, LW, 6 in their last 3 games, the Rams have outscored opponents 48-11, including a 18-0 win over Parkdale last Tuesday. 6 Woodson, 9-1, LW, and the Cavaliers are in early April, double overtime loss to South County away from an undefeated season so far. St. Stephen's, St. Agnes, 10-4, LW, 5 The Saints have lost 2 of their last 3 games, IAC defeats the Bullis and St. Albans. 8 Robinson, 8-1, LW, 8 The Rams responded to a 14-9 loss to Landon with an 11-7 win over West Springfield. 9 Howard, 9-1, LW, 7 The Lions couldn't recover from Glen Elg's 4 unanswered goals in the 4th quarter, falling 9-8. 10 Landon, 9-4, LW, 10 The Bears closed the regular season against Gonzaga, Episcopal and St. Stephen's, St. Agnes dropped out. Number 9 South River, 7-2, Bubble, Briarwoods, 7-1, Glen Elg, 7-1, Paul VI, 12-3, Saverna Park, 7-2.